It's 2025, and you're missing out on one of the most important channels to help build wealth, and that is a podcast. Building a podcast is going to actually help you become a millionaire, and I want to show you exactly how to do that. So in this video, we're going to walk through some of the ways to monetize a podcast. We're going to walk through some of the ways to get started with your podcast, and we're going to show you kind of how much power generating that level of exposure can actually create for your personal brand as well as for your business. So let's dive in. So it's actually crazy how many people listen to podcasts and what the numbers have looked like over the last decade or so. I'm going to read some statistics to you. Over 450 million people listened to podcasts in 2023, and with numbers expected to reach 619 million by 2026, the engagement of podcasts is incredibly high. 34% of Americans listen to an average of 8.3 podcasts per week, and 23 spend over 10 hours listening on a weekly basis. Discoverability is a challenge. Most people find new podcasts through recommendations or app charts. So using social media, using YouTube, using some of these different channels is a really important element to growing that podcast visibility. Podcasting is a booming industry, and the market is projected to be worth $17.6 billion by 2030, making it a great time to get started with a podcast. And with the average listening to 4 to 6 podcasts per week, specific topical podcasts have never been in higher demand. So as you can see, this isn't just a hobby for many, many businesses and many, many influencers. It's a legitimate form of income. It's a legitimate form of revenue for your business and for yourself. So let's unpack a little bit more about exactly how you can monetize a podcast once you start building it and once you start growing your audience. So there are several key ways to monetize your podcast. One of the first and most important ways is sponsorship. So as you're building your podcast, you're going to have a specific niche and a specific kind of area that you focus on with your subject matter expertise, and finding sponsorships for those specific areas is going to be crucial to helping build some of the revenue and some of the momentum behind your podcast. So figure out your niche and then look for specific products and brands that might want to monetize or sponsor certain events within kind of your vertical. Reach out to them and see if they're open to a partnership. Another key way to monetize your podcast is through ad revenue. So YouTube will actually pay you ad revenue dollars per 1,000 views on the videos that you publish. As you gain some visibility, as you gain some momentum, those videos are going to start to generate you meaningful dollars, meaning every time you post a video, you can expect to be paid for the views that you get on that video. Third, you can generate revenue through products as well as services through your podcast. So one of the most important things to do, one of the most important reasons to start a podcast is if you already have a business or you already have a product that you can sell. As you gain visibility, you'll be able to kind of promote that product within your podcast as well as link that product from your podcast descriptions and YouTube channel in general, encouraging people to go engage with you from a service perspective or potentially purchase products from you. Lastly, and this is kind of the dream, you can sell your podcast. So once you gain enough visibility, once you gain enough momentum, you'll have plenty of opportunities to sell that podcast to a podcasting platform for a reasonable chunk of money, and then ultimately go be the talent that continues to run that podcast on that network. This is, things like what the Kelsey brothers did with their podcast, what Spotify did with the Ringer did with its podcast network. So selling to a major platform is going to be a great way to make 8 figures or more on your podcast. Having a podcast isn't just about having a voice. It's also about building brand and building authority. So as you run more episodes and as you build an audience up, as you build a community up, you're going to start to be seen as a subject matter expert and as an authority on that source of information on that topic. The other cool thing that'll allow you to do is it'll allow you to have people on your episodes and on your show that also are sources of authority within that market. And as you have those guests on your show, you're going to be able to kind of cross-pollinate your audience with their audience and hopefully provide even a bigger kind of growth push every single time you have an episode do very well on YouTube. Building this authority up is going to open the door for more premium offers, things like books and exclusive memberships and speaking gigs, things like that. So when people trust you, they're likely to invest in the products and the services that ultimately you're offering. Lastly, about building brand and authority, the nice thing about this is once you've done it once you've climbed that mountain once, you'll be able to continue to do it over and over and over again, and you're going to feel the power in personal branding, the power in being able to monetize yourself and your subject matter expertise. So it opens the door for you to be able to rebuild a YouTube channel or rebuild a podcast over and over and over again, and then provide that valuable insight to others. It's really important to keep in mind that becoming a millionaire through podcasting is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is something that's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of investment. It's going to take a lot of commitment to building your personal brand up, building your offerings up, things along those lines. But here's the thing. Every successful podcaster that you've seen has started from episode 1. They've started from the very, very beginning, and they've built it into what it is today. And frequency and energy that goes into your podcast is going to determine a lot about the success, as well as the pace at which you reach that success. So over time, those podcasters have built a brand and been able to leverage their own platform for growth and monetize it in a powerful way. And you can absolutely do the same thing. But you got to stay patient. You got to stay consistent. And the rewards are going to follow. So to recap, podcasting can make you a millionaire through sponsorship, ad revenue, product sales, and other levels of exposure, including selling that podcast eventually. It's a journey, and the right strategy. And with the right strategy, it's more achievable than it's ever been before. So if you're ready to take the leap, I'd love to connect with you. You'll find a description in the link. You can also go to the website, creatingapodcast.com, and we can help you get started today with whether it's an idea that you have or a podcast that you're already running that you're looking to create more growth and exposure for. We can help you no matter where you are in that journey. So get in touch, hit the bell, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.